happening is this, is you get unpredictable results, unpredictable revenue, unpredictable income. So here's the one thing you have to fix out now is you have to take care of. So in this video, I want to go ahead and talk about the key metrics to measure in business. Now, here's the thing is, most of you who are business owners or you've been in business for a long period of time, you know that business is pretty much competitive. Business is stressful for the most part. It doesn't matter what product you have. It doesn't matter how good your customer acquisition is. But how do you know that your business is not struggling, and how do you know that your business is not about to fail? So these are a few key metrics. It's not all the metrics, but key metrics that you need to be paying attention to if you want to make sure that your business has longevity. Okay. So the first thing first I want to go ahead and talk about here as far as the key metrics go is I want to go ahead and talk about, let's skip that part. Your lead to appointment ratio, right? Which is your customer acquisition process. This is very important. And the reason I want to talk about your customer acquisition process, let's go ahead and dive into, you guys know I love using my my little illustration here is if you are right now, let's say you have your business, right? Joe has a business, right? This is Joe's business, right? How are people coming into the door for Joe? Doesn't matter if it's HVAC, doesn't matter what it is a lot of businesses are relying on this one thing. They're making this big mistake and they're relying on the one word, which is the R word. They're relying on the one word, and that one word is referrals, right? A lot of businesses are relying on the referrals. And what happens when you rely on referrals is it is not constant, and it is very dependent on other people because you're relying on other people to be able to get more people into your pipeline. And when you're relying on others, what ends up happening is you get unpredictable results, unpredictable revenue, unpredictable income. So here's the one thing you have to fix out now is you have to take care of your marketing, which is your customer acquisition process. Now, for those business owners out there that are smart with it and are actually running either lead generation campaigns, influencer marketing campaigns, cold email campaigns, whatever it is, and they're actually acquiring leads, now you're faced with another problem. The next problem you're faced with is how are you your lead to appointment ratio. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to focus on the lead to appointment ratio is I want you to pay attention to it from a perspective of if I get 100 leads, okay, if 100 leads came into my pipeline, okay, we get 100 leads that came into the pipeline. And out of this 100 leads, let's say they're warm, exclusive leads, and it cost me $30 a lead. It cost me, so basically the math is it cost me $3,000 to be able to get 100 leads. So it cost me $3,000 to be able to get 100 leads. Now, if I'm only able to convert, 2 or 3 of these leads, okay, into appointments. Let's say best case scenario, I convert 10 into appointments, okay? 10 of them convert into appointments, right? So which means what ends up happening is we have 10 of them that convert into appointments, which means my average appointment value is what? What'd you call it? That is not what I'm looking for. My average appointment value is, that's my pen. There you go, $300. Okay, you get the math right now, right? It costs me $30 per lead. I get 100 leads, which is $3,000, and then I convert, 10 of those into appointment. It costs me $300 per appointment. Now, I have to pay attention to the fact that, which brings me up to the next part, which is the next part I want to go ahead and cover here, which is after we convert leads to appointments, is I want to talk about your sale ratio, right? How many of these appointments are you able to convert into sales? This is a very big part because if it's costing me, pay attention to this. If it's costing me basically $300 per appointment, and my average, and I'm only able to convert 2 of them into sales. Let's say I'm only able to convert 2 of those people into sales. If you do the math, I am paying $1,500 per customer acquisition. And you're like, Emmanuel, where'd you get $1,500 from? If it costs me $3,000 to get 100 leads, okay, it costs me $300 for one appointment, okay, and so basically it's costing me $300 for one appointment, so which would be basically $3,000 for 10 appointments, and I'm only able to convert 2 of those. It would mean what? 3 divided by 2 is what? $1,500, right? So it cost me $1,500. My bad, $1,500 per appointment. So if it's costing you $1,500 per appointment, you have to understand what is the average ticket, average order value people are paying you. Because if you are not getting at least a 5 to 1 ROI, it's only a matter of time before you go out of business, because you have to think about it in a sense as to what would happen if the customer canceled, right? What would happen if you enrolled that one customer to sign up for $1,500, but then your average ticket price is $2,000, and then they cancel? Now, guess what? What happens? Now you are negative. You're negative 2,000. Plus, you have to factor in if your average ticket is 2 grand and it costs you $1,500 to acquire a customer, and you also have to factor in your fulfillment, because you also have to factor in fulfillment. There's marketing and there's fulfillment. When you actually factor in fulfillment, you are actually losing money if your average ticket order value is that low. Right now, I know this is kind of arbitrary numbers, and I know these numbers are kind of a little bit extreme, but there are people out there who are spending $1,500 to acquire a customer. Take, for instance, insurance agents. You don't know this. Majority of insurance agents don't know this. When they pay $30 per appointment, they get 100 leads, and they only make 2 to 3 sales. And let's say they get paid 4 grand for making 3 sales, but it costs them, $1,000 or $750 to $1,000 to acquire one customer, right? It costs them almost $1,000 to acquire one customer, and then that customer cancels. Now they lose the money from the insurance that they just made, that they just sold. Plus, they also negative the amount of money that they spent on marketing. This is the reason why majority of insurance agents who use leads don't last. Okay, because they don't last because they're not working on the next thing that I want to cover in this video here. That's what I want to cover. The next thing here is your retention ratio. Okay, your retention ratio. How many people are you able to transform into customers, and how many of those customers are you able to retain? Right? Because if it costs you $1,500 to acquire one customer, arbitrary numbers, right, or $600 or $700, and your ticket value is 2 grand, and you only keep that customer for 2 to 3 months, you don't make your money. Plus, I also have to factor in the fact as to, is it a recurring, right? Are they paying in recurring on a monthly or annual basis? Okay, recurring monthly or annual basis, or is it a one time? Is it a one time purchase? Because if it is a one time purchase and you're only paying one time, and you spent $1,500 to make 2 grand, you really didn't make any money because it's a one time. And if they cancel, boom, you're done. Right? That's the reason why you have to understand is you have to factor in how much money is it am I spending to acquire a customer, and am I able to get a 5 to 1 ratio? 5 to 1. 5 to 1 on my marketing spend. If you're getting a 2 to 1, then that's a very, very bad number. If you're getting 1 to 1, that's bad number two. You need at least a 5 to 1. So either you raise your prices if you want to go ahead and maintain retention ratio, or be able to maintain profitability to maintain a 5 to 1, especially if your customer acquisition is high. And this is the reason why, I know I teach a lot of trainings to insurance agents, and a lot of insurance agents ask me, "Hey, Emmanuel, why aren't you selling insurance?" And I'm very straight up, and I'm like, because I don't control the prices. Okay, I don't control the prices. The insurance company does. And here's the thing about being an agent is you don't control the prices. So when you don't control the prices, you don't control the profit margins. Right? Because I know if it costs me, let's say, for instance, it costs me about $212 to $213 to acquire one customer, but the average lifetime value of a customer is roughly about profitability at about 7 grand on an annual basis. I spent 212 one time, and then I factor in cost of fulfillment in there, but it averages out to about $6,000 annual profitability with a 212 acquisition, right? So for me, I like those numbers. I legitimately do like those numbers, right? Now, the reason why my numbers are is relatively low is because, one, I have different customer acquisition systems in place. Email campaigns, we have search campaigns on Google, YouTube campaigns, we have Facebook ad campaigns. We have different acquisition models to get people into the pipeline, right? So for whichever one gets too expensive, I can say, okay, hey, this is getting too much. Profit margins are kind of a little tight. Let's cut this campaign up here, and let's scale this campaign here, right? So that's something I want you to go and pay attention to is, what is your ticket price, and is it a one time or an annual? And that's the reason why I don't sell insurance, because I don't control the prices. And practically, it's like, you are an affiliate. An insurance agent is an affiliate. You're an affiliate of the insurance company. Okay, the insurance company controls the business. They own the client. They own the client business. Your job is just to promote their product, and then you get a cut from it. Okay, that's it. You're an affiliate. You're a promoter. That's pretty much it. It is not your business. It is not your business. Just pay attention to that. It's not your business. All you're doing is basically you're an affiliate. You're an insurance affiliate, right? So you get paid an affiliate commission for the most part. A lot of people can argue with me on that, and I can say this: you can become a millionaire from selling insurance, but you have to understand is, if you want to succeed in insurance, you have to sell more expensive products. Straight up. Okay. you're not going to become, a multimillionaire from selling final expense. I'm just being very straight up to insurance agents. Watch this. You're not going to become a multimillionaire. I don't care what anyone else is going to tell you. When you're selling 40, 50, 60, $100, $150 policies, you're not making enough money, because guess what? If I sell, I know I'm going to get a little tangent because I have a few other business owners watching me here. But if I sell insurance and I only get paid $1,500 from it, okay, on an unearned commission, and it costs me, if you go do the math as to how much money it costs you to acquire a customer. It costs you roughly, $600 to $750 to acquire one customer. That's a 2 to 1. 750 to 1,500 is 2 to 1. Now, if the customer cancels, I lose the 1,500 plus I'm negative 750. So now I'm negative 2,250. It just becomes a thing where it's a scalable business if you are able to recruit agents, because people who succeed in insurance are recruiters. Recruiters succeed in insurance. But that's a video for another day. I just kind of wanted to go ahead and kind of touch up on this training here. All right. So your retention ratios, how long are you keeping a customer for? Is it how long are people staying on the 3 months? My recommendation is your retention ratio should be on a 3 months should be nothing less than at least 97 to at least 98%. Okay. You want about a 97% retention ratio for the first 3 months, because guess what? The feeling is still high. People are still trying out your business, but then it's slowly going to drop off. Usually, I recommend no less than 3% drop off every 6 months on your retention ratio, right? So what that means is in 9 months, from 9 months, you should be at roughly, a 94%, right? And then give or take your retention ratio from when you acquire that customer, from that, let's say you acquired 100 customers in January. In March, you should be still at 97. In October, you should be at 94, right? In another 3 months, should be an average of about 3% fall off. And then usually after people have done business with you for a year to 2 years, and then you've seen profits from it, it's almost a matter of time that they're just gonna stay with it. Most people don't like change. If you become that go-to guy, that go-to girl, people aren't really going to leave you. But within the first year is where you kind of have to maintain retention. Okay, you want to end your year at least with a 94 to 91% retention, right? Which means whatever customers you acquired for the year, you should have no less than a 91% drop off. Okay, which means you should be a 91% retention ratio every 12 calendar months, right? You should be able to retain customers for 91%. Whatever that is to you is completely up to you. But if I was an insurance agent selling just life insurance, I would not just sell life insurance, because life insurance is, one vertical. I would sell health. I would sell different accidental products. I'll be that one-stop shop. Reason being is that is how you can be able to increase the order value or the average value of a customer to you. Okay. And that's the reason why I'm recommending this to insurance agents. And that's why most insurance agents don't make money, is because they don't ever work on the retention ratio. And most of them only sell one product, which is life. And after you sell life, what do? What's next? You just sell them once? Because if you sell them once, it's a one-time payment. You have to think about it. Oh, yeah, well, they pay per month. Doesn't matter. It's still a one-time payment because you get paid once. You have to see a way to get a recurring revenue off that one customer. Another thing you have to understand is your referral numbers, right? When you enroll a customer, when you get somebody in the door, they buy from you, right? Are you getting referrals from them? I like referrals, right? I like getting more people in the pipeline. We run a bunch of ad campaigns, which for the most part, I would say our conversions are roughly about 15 to 17% on our ad campaigns. On our email campaigns, it's in the high 30s, because they're actually people are actually like, hey, for you to actually, you read through it, you did your research, and then you kind of came to talk to us. But advertising, you have to understand, advertising is pretty much a long-term game. You have to win to advertise for a long period of time. So referrals are basically free. Your customers are advertising for you, they advertise on your behalf, and then getting more people in the door. So I would highly recommend you actually getting referrals from customers. Next is just recruiting numbers. If your business, this is where recruiting numbers, if you're an insurance agent, you need to be recruiting, because if you're not recruiting, it's only a matter of time before chargebacks comes and eats you out. I'm just saying this. If you're not recruiting and you're just selling yourself, now the only way it will not is if your business is built off of relationships. Most agents don't build relationships; they just sell policies. When you don't build relationships, you have to understand people do business with people. There's a reason why there's not robots selling policies, right? People need somebody else to talk to get that human feel, right? Um, and most insurance agents, you be honest with yourself. You if I know this is more or less speaking to insurance agents, but I want you to understand something is if you did not get paid to sell insurance, would you sell insurance? I'm just gonna pause and ask this question. If you did not get paid to sell insurance, would you sell insurance? More than likely the answer is no. Okay? Because most of you are uncomfortable talking about insurance. Be straight up with yourself. So that's the God's honest truth with most people, and people who succeed in the insurance industry are willing to do it for a long period of time, even if they don't see results. Right? Like for instance, when I started, RIZN Results, it ate a lot of it was a lot of dumping cash. It was just a lot of dumping cash, not seeing results. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure I perfect the skill. Once I get the skill, we can scale from there. Right. So for me, it was about the person I would become from it, not from the money I would make from it. I know I'm in business to make money, but I'm in business to grow. Right. And if you're doing business in the sense to you're not in business to grow, you're just in business to, for that next buck. It's only a matter of time before that next buck becomes the one thing that get you in trouble, not even just get you in trouble, get you out of business, right? You can see it. I mean, you see the banks, most of the banks are failing, right? Because they are outside of that next buck, not outside of the relationship, not in for the relationships. Like you guys know, I'm a no, I say it as it is, no BS. 100%. I'll be like, hey, listen, when I'm selling insurance, I'm like, listen, if you don't get this, she's gonna suffer, right? You talk to people the way you talk to, the money never was like, oh my God, money, money, money. But I stopped growing as an insurance agent, in the sense as to, it was just like, I'm like, I needed more skill. I needed more. And that's honestly where I got into marketing. And I can say marketing and coding and writing softwares, it's much harder to sell insurance. You make millions faster selling insurance than you would building softwares. Straight off the bat, recruiting numbers, go recruit, get some more people in your pipeline. I know how much you hate it, just go do it. The next thing is basically, if you're a business, find a way to partner with other businesses. Okay. If you are a dentist, right? Find a way to partner with an orthodontist, find a way to partner with a kid's school, right, to send kids with messed up teeth to you, find a way to partner with a job, find a way to in which diversify yourself where you have other people referring business to you. Okay, it's very important. You cannot just rely on one market. Like for instance, I don't just rely on one, on my marketing. I rely on other people's tapping into other people's circle of influence, right? Business, you have to be very diverse, but you also have to have allies, right? And the only way to ally is to find different, not the same network. So dentists, not partner with dentists because that's competition. You want to partner with somebody that does not sell a competing product to you. Remember, there are new innovations every 18 months. The reason why I added this in there is you have to understand there are new products, especially in technology age. Every 18 months, somebody's coming up with something new. Every 18 months, someone's coming up with something. Every 18 months, how are you innovating your business? Because if you're a roofer and you fix roof by, ABC, and you've been doing it on ABC, guess what? It's only a matter of time before somebody comes with DEF and like does it faster. Let me tell you this, and Alex Hormozy says this: fast will beat free every time. I'm going to say it again: fast beats free. Okay, so if there's a way you can innovate, if you do projects in a month and you can be able to get those projects done in a week, boom, because you can charge more money for it. If you do it in a week, you find a way to do it in a day, you can charge almost 7 times more for it, right? Because you're using speed. Fast will be free every day. So how are you innovating your product to make it faster, make it more efficient, and increase your user experience? That's it, guys. Just go ahead and like the video. Like I said, these are just metrics to measure and show that you're succeeding and show that your business is growing. And hopefully, if you have any value from this, just go ahead and do me a favor and just smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. So just remember, if you don't innovate, you are going to be out of business pretty soon. You're going to be out of business pretty soon. I hate to say it, but if you're not innovating, if you're not improving, problems are going to arise. It's going to take you out of business. Competition. Business is competition. You best believe if you're not paranoid in business, just best believe that somebody is trying to take you out of business. That's all I got for you guys. And like I said, I'm almost going to say this. Listen, I make these videos to make you a better business owner, to make you a better operator of your business. And if you want to see more content like this, just go ahead and do me a favor, smash